Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, and of course, my man Coach Santa, who's down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
the wretched.
The wretched.
Every time I hear that, now I think of that. Um, of course, obviously the Cosby Show episode, right? But I think of the, how when they were doing the little AI puppets of different scenes and stuff. I think of that now. I don't know why. I think of that.
I only think about that when they do the AI puppets of Sanford and Son. Because just seeing a baby with a full beard, white beard, and white hair is just absolutely hysterical to me.
Yeah, that is funny. That is funny. But we're back. We are here on a Friday night. Crazy enough. Things was going on, so we couldn't do Wednesday night. Couldn't do last night because things was going on. So we said we're gonna do Friday night. We're gonna hit them on a Friday. And see what it's hitting for. We're gonna have some fun with y'all. Hit us up, of course, on the text line with 484-606-0661. I think I said it wrong. Let me try it one more time. Hit us on the text line. It's our 24-hour text line, so you can hit the text line at any time. 484-606-6061. All right. Once again, that's 484-606-6061. You can leave your thoughts on the chat line. You can leave your thoughts in the chat, in a regular chat. Let me start that over. You can leave your thoughts in the text line, and you can leave your thoughts in the regular chat. And of course, we'll read them on air, and we'll give you our thoughts. But with that being said, we're about to get into the show. But before I do that, I gotta ask my folks how they been. So Miguel,
Yep.
how you been?
Cold. Yeah.
Old now. How did you make out in the great cellular outage the other day? Were you affected at all?
Not at all, because I believe the two companies that were involved, I don't have their service anymore.
Okay. I was.
So how did that impact you?
I couldn't really do anything on my phone. I mean, it wasn't a brick, but it was I couldn't get service. Wi-Fi. I could do things on Wi-Fi.
Mhm.
I couldn't make a phone call, and I'm pretty sure my text messages. I know my text messages didn't get out. But once I got home, crazy enough, when I got home and got within my home Wi-Fi signal, I started getting all my notifications. A whole bunch of text notifications just coming in, boom, 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 boom. But I still couldn't call. I still couldn't make a phone call.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Well, I shouldn't say it was rough. It wasn't really that bad. Just couldn't make a phone call. But since you were not affected, I think one of my last text messages probably went out to you about doing the show.
Yeah, I was like, I was thinking about this is kind of late, bro.
things got bad around 12:00. Oh wait a minute, hold on. Never mind. I'll talk to you. It doesn't matter. We got a show to do. Okay. So we had a show planned for Wednesday, and of course, Wednesday, some things went down. We were all set. We were all ready to talk to you about it. But then, as the week went on, some more things went down. But of course, one of the things we were here ready to talk to you about on Thursday was the Philadelphia Eagles, how they came into 2025 as the defending Super Bowl champions and one of the favorites to probably repeat. But their title defense ended on Sunday with a 23-19 wild card loss to the San Francisco 49ers. All right. And the team made it official on Tuesday that Kevin Patullo is out as the offensive coordinator. All right. Now, while the Eagles won 11 games, the offensive regression was undeniable. They dropped from 7th to 19th in scoring. And Jalen Hurts' efficiency hit a career low of 6.2 yards per attempt. Now, Nick Sirianni looks for his fifth offensive coordinator in 6 years. The question is, just isn't just about play calling. All right, I don't think it's just the play calling. I think it's deeper than that. Um, but is this revolving door at offensive coordinator? Um, is it healthy for the progression of the offense and the progression of Jalen Hurts? Um, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about. First of all, Sunday the game it was disappointing to see. You know what, Miguel? Let me stop lying. I'm not lying about it being disappointing. Let me take a sip. What I'm lying about is call me crazy, but I was kind of relieved when they lost. I'm probably the only one, but I had a sense of relief when they lost. I don't know if that was the burden of wearing the championship crown. No, I don't wear it, but as a fan that we are the champions. And now the knowing that okay, we're not going to lose this we're not going to lose it in the Super Bowl. We're not going to get all the way to the Super Bowl and disappoint. Um, but it was just I think because it was over, and I just we knew Miguel, like we knew after week one. We talked about it, like it's not right. Something ain't right. Um, and I guess for me, it was kind of more like all right, finally, we could put this to rest and really try to figure this out because it was inevitable in my eyes. It was inevitable. Um, I, Miguel, I want you to respond to that because am I crazy? Like, am I crazy for feeling that way, thinking that way?
No, I wouldn't say you. I wouldn't say that at all. I think the feelings after week one were definitely different than the feelings after the end of the season. After week one, you think, okay, yeah, Super Bowl hangover. We started off like this last year, not very consistent. Da 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 da. It started becoming an issue more so like week 10. Then when we lost to the Bears, it was like, okay, now we got a serious problem. Um, beating the Raiders didn't really mean anything, as we now see. Um, I didn't expect the Eagles to repeat, especially after seeing what I saw throughout the season. But I sure as hell did not expect the Eagles to lose to the 49ers, if for nothing else, because I believe the 49ers had like almost every all pro on both sides of the ball injured or hurt. And you saw the nasty injury to Kittle, and it was like, okay, this is where things turn for us, and we couldn't get out of our own way. The only thing I was really satisfied with was the defense, because the defense in the past used to always fail us, but this year was the offense. And but yeah, I wouldn't say that you're crazy to think that way. I think people were also getting tired of all the stuff in the media. Is AJ Brown happy? He's sending his cryptic messages, his tweets, all that garbage. Um, so yeah, I was hoping that there would be a big playoff push, and then everything would be all hunky dory, and then, but yeah, that didn't happen. So now the only downside to it is now you get more speculation. And 2 hours ago, there was something that came out that allegedly AJ Brown was asking for a trade as early as as was that week 3 after the Rams game.
Hmm.
You
And
know,
that's kind of when the whole social media thing started too.
well, and the Rams game was very telling because remember we were down what 23 to like 6 or whatever in the first half, and there was video of Jalen Hurts talking to the offense scorer like really firmly, and then all of a sudden it was an air show the second half. So it was like, okay, there it is. That's the Eagles that we know and love. And now we're 3-0. Now we can get this thing going, and it just never took off. So
Never did. Never did. Um, I want to, I want to remind you of something, I guess, and get your thoughts on it. Earlier, was it earlier this season? Maybe not, I think this was the off season. Was it preseason? I camp in camp. Jalen Hurts said the offense is going to look the way I want it to look. Yet Kevin Patullo caught all the blame. He got all the shots that were fired for the way the offense looked. Did the offense look the way Jalen wanted it to look, or was it Kevin Patullo? Who was pulling the strings? Jalen making the most money in the building.
I mean, ultimately, it's the coach that calls the plays, right? And if Sirianni, lets his buddy, call the plays like he does, then yeah, it does have to fall on Patullo. The thing I don't like, and I read about this today, is that now there's rumors that Patullo is not taking the blame for the lack of lack of a better word, the fall of the offense.
Well, is he coming out and saying something or?
No, it was just grumblings. The same. It's almost like the same thing with the rumor of AJ demanding a trade. Nothing definitive from them, but that was kind of the take. And even when after that incident where people were throwing eggs at his house, um, he did that kind of like passive aggressive, like well, we need to do better at certain looks and certain things. But it's like, okay, well, is that a we thing or is that a Jalen thing? So
Who said that?
Patullo when he was being interviewed after one of the games, because somebody had brought up the question about the offense, and is it do you see, like, I think the question was, do you see Jalen like regressing, and or no, I'm sorry, it was after, I think it might have been after the Bears loss, and he did one of those, I think somebody was pointing out a play, and he's like, yeah, we have to do better both calling the play and executing the play, kind of sort of thing. You know what I mean? So he's like kind of like sort of taking blame for calling the play, but also sort of playing, passing it off to Hurts for
Yeah,
not executing the play. So it's like, you know,
gotcha. Um, so over the weekend, right? There were three great playoff games. You had the Rams and the Panthers. That was a great game. You had
Jaguars and the Bills.
the Jaguars and the Bills. That was another great game. And you had oh, I'm trying to remember. I would have remembered on Wednesday. I had it already on Wednesday. um, oh, what was that third game on? Was it
Well, it was Pittsburgh.
the game before the Eagles game?
Oh, no, that was Texans. That was Monday night. I keep thinking that. I
Oh,
keep
no,
skipping that.
The Bears. The Bears. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. The Bears
Uh,
and Packers. Bears and
Bears and
Packers.
Packers. Three great games. Three great games. Yeah, two blowouts. Steelers and Houston,
Texans. Yeah.
and then the not. I'm sorry, the New England and the Chargers, and then you had the Eagles game, which I don't. That was probably that was the middle game, right? If you're ranking the game, you had the great blowouts. You had the great games, the two blowouts, and then the Eagles game was
The-
a 5 point, 4 point game.
yeah, it was the Eagles game was like a slow death.
Yeah, for us,
You know?
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Um,
It
but
was a hospice game.
as a fan, do you want the Eagles to look internal? We're on our fifth. See, this is one thing that we did. I guess we didn't know coming up as as a team that didn't win the Super Bowl. You go to the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl, your coaching staff is going to get plucked. All right, we're about to be on our fifth offensive coordinator for Jalen Hurts. This, just for the Eagles. As a fan, do you want them to look outside the organization to find, bring somebody in here who runs offenses, great offensive coordinator that may end up becoming a head coach somewhere the following season? Or
I
you
mean, when
want to
you
do
look
it
at
internally, somebody already knows what's going on. Mind you, they just did that.
right,
Or like or God forbid, should Nick Sirianni just start running the offense?
I personally think Nick Sirianni should be fired. Um, but I'll get to that in a second. So when we look at let's look at the offensive coordinators since 2017. The first Super Bowl he won was who? Frank Reich, outside of the organization. Then after he left, I don't even remember who it was after that, but I believe it was an internal person. Um, then when we won our second Super Bowl, it was Kellen Moore. And I can't. And so let me even go back further than that. So we went to the Super Bowl, right? After we won, we had what
Against the
Steichen or
Chiefs.
whatever. We had Steichen, who was outside of the organization, and then we went inside, and that was a huge disaster. So
Oh
every
yeah,
time
Brian. What was his name?
Johnson,
Brian Johnson. Yeah.
so every time we have gone inside the organization, it hasn't really gone well. Um, I think you have to look for people now that may have been head coaches and it didn't work out, but are great coordinators. It's like there was remember the defensive coordinator Bum Phillips. I think he always had a great defense wherever he went. Started out with the Eagles. I think then he went to the Oilers, Cowboys, and like all these other teams. But he was also head coach and he was terrible. But he was a great coordinator. So it's like that's what you got to find now. But I don't know that you go internal. I think there's enough external candidates that would work. Um, I like the McDonald to do. Is his name McDonald? Mike McDonald. I keep thinking of the white dude that sounds black that sings all the black songs. He gets the white beard and
You
um
talking about down in Miami?
yeah, the Miami dude.
Daniel?
McDaniel. Thank you. I always call him McDonald, but he dresses like a Best Buy, you know,
Yo,
brainchild.
there's something weird about him to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but there's something weird about him to me.
I mean,
But 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 I wouldn't mind him being our offensive coordinator.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like I wouldn't mind him being our offensive coordinator. I know Dable's name's been thrown around because of his relationship with Devontae and Jalen Hurts at Alabama, and you know the success
I
that they
wouldn't,
had
I,
together.
I wouldn't mind that either.
Right. So it's like there's a couple of OCs that I think former head coaches that could stay a while. You know what I mean? I would I would love to find out what the rule is for organizations to not allow coaches to leave. Because I mean, they always say they ask for permission to talk to coaches for head coaching jobs. Why not just say, hey, you sign a contract for 3 years or whatever, you're gonna stay the 3 years and we're gonna block you from talking to anybody else. It may be a deterrent to hiring the coach, maybe, but I don't know. It just gets annoying the freedom that, you know, somebody can just leave their job but at the same time I get it, it's like getting a higher position someplace else, but I don't know.
Um, it would be nice to see Brian Dabo come here, be the offensive coordinator. He's got he's back with Jalen, he's back with Saquon. Eagles win the Super Bowl, just to stick it to the Giants just one more time. Just one more
I'm with it.
time. Um, real quick, I'm gonna go through a couple things real quick. Stuff that we were gonna go over on Wednesday, but I actually forgot to put them in the notes. I don't know how I did that. Um, we all know. I'm stalling 'cause I'm blanking on it. John Harbaugh was ousted as the coach of the Baltimore Ravens, and now he's the coach of the New York Giants. Um, Mike Tomlin steps down as the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, and to my knowledge, he has not yet landed another job. Right? I don't even know if he's
I
like.
I don't even know if he's pursuing another job,
Yeah, I
but
don't know if he's pursuing. He might be taking some time away. Um, and so forth and so on. But one thing I did want to get to real quick, um, as we were talking about the offense, I was looking up some stats and I was surprised that the we all know the offense lagged this year, right? But Jalen Hurts' numbers were pretty much better this season than they were last season. I was kind of surprised by that. He had 25 passing touchdowns. He had 25 passing touchdowns this year. What I miss? He had 25 passing touchdowns this year. Um, his completion percentage last year 64.8%. This year 69.3%. Better completion percentage. He had more passing yards this year. That can be explained by Saquon was running all over the place.
mhm.
But I don't feel like they passed the ball that much this year.
Well, but then there's that stat where I think the Eagles led the NFL in the most three and outs. so
They led the NFL in 3 and outs.
so there's
Um,
that.
now his yards per attempt did go down about a yard. It went from 7.1 to 6.2. And his rushing touchdowns went down from 14 to 18, which is interesting because the tush push didn't work that well this year. And we know a lot of his rushing touchdowns come off that play, the brotherly shove.
But you notice more teams are using it and there's less complaining about it. How about that?
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the offseason. We'll see what. There's less complaining about it because the Eagles were not as successful with it,
Right.
and I truly believe that
Mhm.
because there was a lot of talk when we were successful with it.
Right.
A lot of talk when we were successful with it. Hit us on the chat line. Hit us on the text line 484-606-6061. Or of course you can put your thoughts in the chat. And Miguel, your brother said Philly stink.
Well, way to stay in order.
Just wanna- um now I want to say congratulations to Clint Hurt. Clint Hurt. Right? Yes, Clint Hurt. He is the defensive line coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was selected to um he's one
Rewind.
of two head coaches for this year's Senior Bowl. I can try to get it together. One of two head coaches selected for this year's Senior Bowl. So congratulations to him. Um, now I guess that's an honor, right? Like I don't want to disrespect it, but that's to be selected for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw an article about it, so it's got to be an honor, right? So shout out to him. Getting some love. Maybe he can be our offensive coordinator. He knows what defenses look like. Um, did you want to talk about the Eagles free agents?
No,
Yeah, a
no,
lot.
I'm joking. Yeah, I mean, we can
So
talk
I'm
about the most.
yeah,
Let
I'm
me
just kind
see.
of like I'm just looking right. I'm looking at
So there's 18 free agents that the Eagles have, and only one of them is restricted, and he's a nobody.
Ben Van Summeren.
I mean, Not a
Well,
nobody, but it's
I'm just trying. Oh, I'm trying to think. Oh, he was the full. He was the fullback. Remember, we are going to have the fullback this year, but he
right.
got hurt.
Yeah.
We're going to bring the fullback position back to our offense. Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, the most notable names. I mean, the top three on here: Dallas Goddard, um, Reed Blankenship, Jalen Phillips. Now, here's the thing: I see a good replacement for Dallas Goddard, who's a little bit younger, about the same size, um, and he pretty much is out with the Ravens. Isaiah Likely.
You said
Uh,
he's as good as Dallas got it.
from what I've seen, but the issue is that they have another tight end that they put their money into because they run a lot of two tight end sets
Yeah.
and Andrews, so that's their main tight end. He was the one that dropped the ball in the
Mhm.
playoff game.
I actually I went to a few years back. I went to a Phillies, an Eagles preseason game against the Ravens, and I sat behind his parents.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How did you treat them?
Oh, everything was cool. Shit, we was getting our butts kicked, so
Uh,
everything was cool.
yeah, but I like Isaiah Likely because again he's a few years younger. He's a little faster than Goddard, so I think he would be a viable replacement. But
Goddard earned another contract, in my
mm,
opinion, this year. He earned another contract. I mean, whether it's with us or not, he's earned another contract.
yeah,
And I don't know if he's going to be getting paid less than what he got paid this year. He had a really good year with us this year. I feel like.
yeah,
Um, Reed Blankenship. I told you how I feel about him.
he got toasted on that halfback pass play, right? Didn't he bite?
Was that him?
I thought it was. I thought it was Blankenship.
I don't even remember. To be
It was
honest with
one of the
you, I
white
knew
dudes, but I
it was
think
Blankenship, but I don't remember. It might have been Blankenship. Let us know in the chat, y'all, if it was Blankenship. Um, Jalen Phillips. Be a nice piece. Be a nice piece to keep. Aziz Ojolari. What you think? I don't know enough about him. Like you hear his name every once in a while.
not enough to warrant keeping him.
Jahan Dotson, I think, is gone. Brandon Graham re-retires. Josh Uche.
You skipped the punter?
Yeah, I'm skipping him. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Did you want to talk about him?
No, go ahead.
I'm not going to go through every name. At least I don't. I don't want to, but I might. You
Mhm.
know me. Um, Fred Johnson. They let him walk last year and then traded to bring him back, and he actually played a significant role because Lane Johnson went down. I mean, he's not. He doesn't suck, but he's not Lane Johnson.
He's
But
not
not a
Lane
lot.
Johnson.
Nobody else.
You know who is and might be available if I am correct. And I don't know why they let him walk in the first place. But I believe Makai Becton.
Yeah, I believe he's a free agent.
I never understood why they let him walk. He was one of the key cogs in the tush push. He was one of the key cogs in our passing offensive line.
Mhm.
Um, but he also has expressed frustration with issues in Los Angeles when he signed with the Chargers. Um, and I believe either they're cutting him or he's walking or whatever the case may be. But
Bring
you
him
know,
back, Howie.
yeah.
Bring him back. Damn. Um, sorry. AJ Dillon, I was kind of happy they signed him. They did not utilize him really at all.
Well, that was because of Bugsby, Bigsby. I keep calling him Bugsby, Bigsby.
Yeah, but Bixby came. He didn't start the season with us.
True.
Like AJ Dillon had his opportunity. I don't know when went bad there, but something went bad. The Kobe Dean.
I think you gotta sign re-sign him
I
because
think you
even
gotta sign him too. But what kind of money? At what price? Because
he,
you
he,
know
he-
he's
here's
gotten
the
hurt like almost every year he's played.
here was the change that I think the Phillies as an organ at the Phillies, the Eagles as an organization made. Remember with the Andy Reid Eagles, right? They put all the money into the interior line and the defensive backs, but they never cared. They never gave a damn about the linebackers, right? Once we started focusing on linebackers or good linebacker play, then all of a sudden now we're in Super Bowls competing. You know what I mean? Nakobe Dean is just he's that dog that you want at that position.
Yeah,
And you can flip him to end, and you can utilize him in different fronts. I think you got to keep him.
I think you do too. I have a feeling they're going to let him walk. I got a feeling they're going to let him walk, and I hope he doesn't go to the Cowboys. He reminds me a lot of what was his name? He played for the Eagles. He was a linebacker, but he would get hurt a lot, and the Eagles let him walk too. I think it was Jordan. Was it something Jordan or Jordan something? Oh man,
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about.
not exactly. At first I thought it was Kendricks, but
No, was it before? I think it was before Kendricks, or it might have been there at the same time. But whatever the case may, kind of reminds me of that. Like he was really good, athletic, agile, but he got hurt a lot, and that's
right.
and that's the reason that the Eagles let him go. And I feel like they could do the same thing with Nakobe Dean. He's only 25 years old.
But he only got hurt. He had the one big injury. It was like a pec injury, which was it just took a long time to rehab. I don't recall him being in.
He
Actually,
got
he
hurt
was
like in the playoffs.
he was yeah he was wasn't he injured his rookie year?
Yes,
He was injured his rookie year, and then okay.
got hurt in the playoffs last year. Missed some time this year. So I, for a team that historically does not invest in linebackers, like they kind of did with these guys with Bond, Dean, which they haven't invested. They invested a draft pick in him.
Jordan
Jahad,
Hicks.
uh, Jordan
Jordan
Hicks,
Hicks. Jordan Hicks. That was it.
Jahad Campbell. Like they drafted Jahad Campbell kind of to take over for Nakobe Dean. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and then they probably didn't expect Bond to be what Bond became when he came to the Eagles. But in a perfect world, Nakobe Dean comes back. But I just have a feeling the Eagles gonna let him walk. Um, Grant Calcaterra, is he worth the resign?
No.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm a beast with him on Madden, so my view is a little skewed.
Oh.
I know what he could be.
Yeah. I think based on this list, I would love to see what Jalen Phillips could do with a full season. I don't think we saw enough of him. Like he had a good couple weeks, and then he kind of like faded. But I would love to see him. And I mean, he'll be 20. He's 26 now, so he'll be 27. I would love to see him. I think the only people on this list to resign would be Goddard, maybe Blankenship, Jalen Phillips, and the Kobe Dean.
Goddard, yeah. Goddard, Phillips, Dean, yeah. Um, but there was somebody. I feel like if they, I feel like they're going to have to make a choice between Phillips and Dean. I don't feel like they're going to sign both of them because they're probably both going to be around the same price. And I don't think they're going to do that. But I don't know. I'm not the money person, so I don't kill me for that. That's not how that works. I don't know.
If it comes down to those two, then yeah, I would lean towards Dean because he's a year younger and he
Question is
plays.
what
If it comes down to like having to choose between Jalen Phillips and N'Kobe Dean, I'd
you're
go Dean.
you're leaning Dean, you're trying to
Yeah,
find a edge rush in the draft or
yeah,
or a cheaper one in free agency.
possibly. I mean, that's what happened with Jalen
They're
Phillips.
both
I
in.
think,
They
yeah,
they
because
both.
I think they're still on their rookie deal.
Who's that?
Phillips, or he was on the rookie deal. That's why But yeah,
Yeah,
we got.
Phillips was still in his rookie deal.
I think. Oh, I'm only assuming because of his age, and he's been in the
Oh,
league for 4 years. So I'm just assuming. So you get so you
It
get
could
Go-
be.
so you get Goddard, you get Blankenship. Oh, you got to resign the punter. He actually wasn't bad. You get Dean, and then you get Becton out of Los Angeles, and then part of it will get well.
Yo, you crack me up how you'll put the accent on stuff.
What do you mean?
Say Los Angeles again.
Oh, I said Los Angeles.
Yes, you did,
Los Angeles.
but yet can't say Cooper DeJean.
Cooper the June. Hey, if I heard if what's the name can say the Gene the June in the Super Bowl, then we all can say it.
Who said that?
Um, the announcer, the Eagles announcer. He always goes. He always messes up his name on the radio broadcast.
Oh, you talking about? Um. I know you're talking about. Let's move on. Let's move on because we got a couple things to get to, and Miguel is stumping me today, y'all.
Dun
Um,
dun dun.
let's do this. Briefly, I'm going to talk about the Sixers briefly. Not a whole lot. They're playing right now, actually, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Got blown out the other night by Cleveland, so I had a whole good spiel to talk about with them because they're getting healthier now, and starting to. You can kind of see them play. You can kind of see the chemistry coming together with the Sixers. You can see that happening now that guys have gotten healthy and they're starting to play together more. Um, and surprisingly to me, and Miguel, you probably don't believe that I say surprisingly, but surprisingly to me, um, and I don't know why it's a surprise when I think about it. Embiid has his numbers have gone up during the year. Like he was averaging something like 18. Now he's averaging something like 25, 28, something like that. Um, and his minutes have gone like everything is going up. So, because I thought honestly, Miguel, I'll be honest with you, I thought Embiid was cooked, and still might be cooked. He might just be having a good run, but he's kind of outside of the numbers. I'm watching what he's doing on defense. I'm watching what he's doing when he doesn't have the ball, and I feel like I see him getting. I recognize him getting healthier. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I kind of recognize the way he plays, the way he was playing the pick and roll, defending the pick and roll as hurt Embiid, as opposed to how he's playing the pick and roll now, and I'm seeing the difference. Um, and the way he's playing it, he looks a lot healthier. He looks a lot more spry. I still wish he wouldn't fall as much, but maybe falling is keeping him from crushing his kneecaps or something. I don't know. Um, yeah, I know. You don't. It's all good. When the Sixers are in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'll come holler at you. I'll
Dude,
come.
you keep doing this to yourself. You remember what was it last year that you
Yes, I said the Sixers were going to be win the championship, and I meant the Eagles. Yes, I know.
Oh, you meant the Eagles? Is that
Eagles. I meant the Eagles. Um, no, but I know you don't watch them, so what I'm seeing the improvement. Like I'm actually seeing the improvement in them, which I was not expecting to see as a watcher. Really was not expecting to see it this year at all.
so?
Um,
Would you say that they're getting better in spite of Embiid, or getting better with Embiid?
Crazy enough, I'm going to say both. And here's why I say that. They've played I feel like they've played so much without Embiid that they've learned how to play without Embiid. Whereas teams in the past relied so much on Embiid that when he wasn't there, they just completely struggled. Now that the offense kind of runs through Maxi, when Embiid isn't there, yeah, there's a difference, but the offense is running through Maxi anyway. So it's not hurting them as much. They have a little bit better record with Embiid in there, but it's not that far off. They have a little bit better record with Embiid in there. So and then to kind of put a little more flavor on the question, when Embiid does play, because in the beginning I think was it minutes restriction and all like that, the chemistry was like you was watching, it was like, yo, Embiid is slowing him down. The chemistry ain't there. Take him out the game. Like he's just messing everything up, slowing everything down. Now, with him playing more minutes and him playing more games, um, you can see the chemistry starting to build. He doesn't slow the offense down as much, which is one of the reasons I feel like he's getting a little healthier because he's not slowing them down as much. Um, so to answer your question, I guess it would be yes. Yes. Yeah,
Well,
yes.
I'm reading some reports that he looks he looks healthy. And you already said some of the things as to why, like he looks fluid and faster. But they're reporting that he's looking like healthier than he's been in the last 2 years. And he's without his minutes restrictions since his MVP season. When was he? When did he win the? It was 2 years ago. He won the MVP.
Three.
Three.
Your last year was a wash. The year before that was the year the guy fell on his leg.
Hmm.
And I think it was the year before that was the year he won the MVP, I believe. Because that year the guy fell on his leg, he was having a hell of a season that year. He was having a really good season and he was having putting up MVP numbers. Um, but we all know what happened. So Daryl Watson says, yeah, and the mixers, and he meant Sixers, now it is when you're typing, are getting better. He says they are getting better. And I know he watches every game. He's probably watching the game right now. Which I should have the game on. I usually turn the game on when we're on the show, but it is what it is. Um, a nice thing happened the other night. The I'm I was calling the Eagles the Phillies. Now I'm calling the Sixers the Eagles.
Aren't you glad you don't have a bunch of children?
What? Shoot, when you put
Damn
big
it! Get over.
a bunch of children.
Damn it! Get over here! Jesus Christ!
Um, on Monday night, Eagle. Damn, I did it again. On Monday
Again?
night, Sixers played in Toronto, and Kyle Lowry got a standing ovation because it was significant because of course he won a championship in Toronto. He played in Toronto for a long time. Um, it's probably the last time, or it's probably the last time he'll be playing a regular season game in Toronto. Because saying he's probably done playing after this year. And Daryl said yes, he is. watching the game. Um, so they gave him, they gave him a nice standing ovation. So that was nice and that was cool. It was cool to see the hometown kid get that, um, get that love while he was on the hometown team. You don't really get to see that too often.
Yeah,
Uh, so shout out to them. Now, yeah,
sir.
it's your time to shine. Phillies. Some
Mm,
things have been happening.
mm.
Talk to me about them, man. Talk to me because on Wednesday it was a whole like Wednesday was like okay, yeah, and then today is like, damn, for real, okay. Well, go ahead.
Well, I think Phillies fans have a new player to hate in Bo Bichette. So Phillies tried to go after a big name in free agency. The player's name is Bo Bichette, who was, he was on Toronto. He was drafted by the Blue Jays, played with the Blue Jays. He was in the World Series last year, although he was injured. Um, Phillies allegedly went after him. There was a Zoom call that went very well. Reports were that Bo was really intrigued, and the Phillies had signed Don Mattingly, who was the bench coach in Toronto. Now he's with the Phillies, which I think is a really good hire, and probably the replacement to Topper if he doesn't pan out. Just saying. Um, so there were kind of things that looked like it was a perfect dream. Everything lines up, and then at about I don't know 2 this afternoon, it was reported that the Mets had him. The Mets had him signed, and at first it was those dummy sites, Phillies I updates, and fans, and then all of a sudden you're hearing from the other ESPN, CBS Sports, they're all reporting that Bo Bichette signed, surprisingly, only a 3-year deal. Where rumors are that the Phillies offered him 7 years at 200 million, but I believe he was seeking 300. So although I'm seeing a lot of players do this now rather than signing the long-term deal, those the 10, 15, 20-year contract, they will either sign a 10-year contract with a whole bunch of opt-outs, meaning like after 2 or 3 years, they can opt out of their contract if they meet certain criteria or meet certain milestones. They can literally become a free agent within the 10 years. Um, but he goes to the Mets after the Mets failed to get Kyle Tucker, who went to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Um, but the Mets were rumored to offer they were upwards of I think 50 million a year for Kyle Tucker. Um, and I think it was like somewhat along. I think it was the same amount of years, but just a little bit more money. But I believe Bichette is signing for 3 years at 126 million, which comes to what, like 40 some plus million a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I look at the signing, I think it's an overpay, to be quite honest with you, because he's not even the best defensive shortstop out. As a matter of fact, he's gonna be playing third base for the Mets because the Mets signed, I think, Jorge Polanco, who's a second baseman. He'll be playing first base, and then they sign Mark Semien, who's a second baseman. He's staying there, and I think Brett Batty, who was an infielder, who's now going to be an outfielder. So it's like they're just
Keeping Lindor at short.
and keeping Lindor short, right? So, but it was frustrating because now there was a rumor that the phone call, all of this never even took place, and that his agent pushed the story that Bo called the Phillies, but the Phillies did not confirm that they got a phone call from Bo, but that they were, there's just so much like speculation that anything took place, but it looks like his agent, and I don't know who his agent is, spilled all these rumors about the possible joining to up the price, which is a common agent tactic, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kind of in the beginning felt like the Phillies name was put in there. I kind of felt like he was using the Phillies to push the price.
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like if you had a deal in place, because the reports are that they agreed verbally to the deal, 7 years, 200 million, whatever, and then the Mets come in
200 million
and do
over 7 years.
yeah, 200 million over 7 years. But there's no telling if there was an opt out or whatever. But it looks like he is. I want to say gambling on himself because I mean for the short term, because I think he's like 29, 28, 29. I think his first chance at free agency. So it was kind of funny that he didn't go after the big bucks, so to
What,
speak.
what did he get from the Mets?
It was 3 years, 126.
And the Phillies supposedly offered him 7 years, 200.
Right, but he was looking for a $300 million contract. That's what he was looking for.
So really, he's getting paid more.
Right, there's no right. He's getting paid more for 3 years.
Right.
So
I,
he's just taking off the extra years and not even bothering with an opt out. He's just going to play the 3 years, see what he can get in free agency after the 3 years, and then maybe have his last big contract after that.
I used to be scared to say his dad's name in front of my dad or mom or something, because
Dante?
I didn't know how to say his name. But when I had his baseball card,
It's Dante Bichette. You mean the last name?
yeah, the last name, yeah,
You said his first name. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said his name. I said his
Oh,
name.
I got you. I got you. Got you. Got you.
But I meant his last name. I was scared to say his dad's last name, um, because I had the baseball card. You know what it looks like on a baseball card, and if you're a kid and don't know how to spell the bad word, you don't know that that's not how you spell the word. There's a T missing.
My mom smacked the piss out of me because I was trying to say the word. You remember in Michael Jackson's "Beat It," "Show Me How Funky."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say it right, so she smacked the piss out of me. Instead, I can't say songs that use cuss words. I'm like, but Michael Jackson knows a cut. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Mm,
sorry, I was triggered. I apologize.
I see. I see. Um, when he goes to the Mets, I mean, why? So obviously not a Mets fan. I'm not a Yankees fan.
Mhm.
But why would anybody ever choose to go to the Mets?
They got money. They're paying. Why wouldn't you?
Why would you choose to play there?
It's the same reason why Rangers.
Your baseball career in a Mets uniform.
It's the same reason why Ranger Suarez chose the Boston Red Sox. 5 years, $130 million.
I'm okay. That's Boston.
Yeah, but
That's
Boston
Red
is no Boston is notoriously to this day is notoriously racist.
Okay, I get that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking the Mets. Like the Met like you're the other team in New York.
Always have been.
The other team. That other team that people go to the games because they don't want to go all the way to Yankee Stadium and you're closer. Why? Come on, man. Shout out to all the stinky Mets fans out there.
I'm not all broke up about it though, because again, like you,
I was ready.
I know.
I was ready.
Defensively, I think he would have played second base for us, just from that standpoint, and then they would have traded Stott or moved him to third.
I think he would have played third base for us, and they would have moved Bohm. They might even move Bohm to first and put Bryce back out in the outfield.
Which Bryce already said he's already okay with going back to the outfield, which
Bryce says a lot of things.
he does.
Says a lot of things. Anyway, um, so since I'm about to call him Dante, since Bo Bichette signed with the Mets, then it became blindingly
Instantaneous.
obvious
Right.
that the next shoe to fall was going to be JT Realmuto coming back. Talk to us about that, Miguel.
So you have an older JT Realmuto, which he hasn't shown signs, at least defensively, that he's deteriorating badly. But I mean, he's up there in age. He's what, 33, 34. So he'll be 36, 37 at the end of the contract. They got to start looking for his replacement. They just got to at this point. I I would have preferred probably a 2 year deal, but I guess the extra year, you're giving him, it's history, whatever.
Next year's
Um,
farewell tour.
right. It should be, and one of the things I was hearing today is like the way the Phillies are built. The Phillies are pretty much built on free agents, right? So we don't have. We traded the one catcher that we had in our system that was young, that was a great defensive player, and had a good bat. We traded him for our closer, Duran. So it's like, you know, and we only got a glimpse of him because of him coming in the second half of the year, and we didn't really get to see a lot of him. So we'll see a lot of him this year. But Eduardo Tate or Tiat, however you pronounce it, he's now in the Minnesota Twins organization. He was moving up through the system fairly quickly, and I think he was only like 19 or 20 or whatever. But yeah, the Phillies are predicated on free agents, and it's like there's nobody, there's no big catches, and it's just I'm hopeful for Rafael Marcan, especially because he's a switch hitting catcher. You know, and it's funny because he only hits at the big league level. He can't hit for anything at the minor leagues, but when he comes up,
He
you
hit
know,
that big leagues this year.
yeah, and defensively, he's not bad. I definitely see him playing more, and I think you need him to play more so you see what you got in him. You know what I mean? Is he a viable replacement for JT Realmuto? And there's no denying the importance that JT Realmuto has had on the pitching staff, being able to call games, being able to give pitchers their confidence, and what he's been to Zach Wheeler and all that. But the lifespan for a catcher in these days, he's about at that capacity. So it's time to start.
He'll probably be playing some first base this year or outfield.
I mean, he's
mean,
fast enough for outfield. So, but
yeah, he got the speed, but he's slowing down. I think Kyle Riley was the catcher with the leading stolen bases, wasn't he?
probably.
Probably. All right, so let's do this. It's Friday night. Let's have a little bit of fun. Miguel has put some videos together for y'all, and of course, he's going to be stumping me a little later on after that. So, Miguel, are we does the first video need any type of introduction, or what we doing?
All right. So the first video is the reaction of a Chicago Bears fan, and I'm sure we've all been there. Because I think that game came down to one of the last plays of the game, and this was his reaction.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I
I
love it.
love everybody's loud reaction in the background.
Oh, he kicked down all the Stanley Cups.
I'm telling you.
wait, wait a minute. Hold on. Can we? Never mind. Let's go to the next video.
Okay. So this next one is it's a basketball play where a certain player is using a certain part of his body to help get the score.
Yeah, I saw this one. Here we go. What? it's hard. That's a tough one on me, and because I'm wondering like was the guy already standing there or did he come over to try I'm talking about the defender to make a play like it was weird that he just stuck his butt out there like that though. That was
Yeah.
that was different. Was that the last one?
No, I'm gonna show the last one is, and I think you actually sent this to me, but this was the where is it? That's the button.
I only
That's
send
the
out
button.
top notch videos, so it must have been
Only top notch.
good. Only the best of the best. Hit
You
my
know,
sent box.
for those for those for those interested in the sport of hockey, in my personal opinion, this is the only way that hockey should be enjoyed. Hit the play button, sir.
And then skated off. He came through with the hit and then skated off.
He was looking for people to kill. I love it. It's the only way to watch hockey.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
goalie I want on my team. The other goalie
Yeah.
was just standing there.
I know he kept dropping his stick and picking it up. I'm like, yeah, he don't want to fight.
Excuse me. I'm wondering, like, was that? I'm wondering if that was like staged. You
I'm
think that
pretty
was
sure.
because nobody tried to stop it?
Well, I mean, how could you stop like all 10 people fighting?
Not not one adult came out there. Not one.
Right.
Like I'm just like that had to be staged, right?
Yep.
And then the one kid started beating on his own team.
I know. He just wanted to fight anybody. That was funny.
He's just gonna start punching on whoever. Like whatever, we're supposed to fight. Okay, let's fight. I don't think he understood the assignment.
No.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Yo, this better be easy. Yo, this better be easy. So okay, so y'all, so we've come to the portion of the show where Miguel stumps me, or at least attempts to stump me. And what he
Wow.
does is he selects a player that has some type of ties to Philadelphia, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever the case may be. He lists a bunch of accolades that let me he lists accolades if they have any that the player will have, and he also lists whatever jersey numbers this player wore throughout their career. So let's see what he chose to stump me with today. One time All Star wore number 9 for the Phillies. And I
Yes.
feel like if I ask questions, it's going to just give the answer up. But I have to ask. Well, first, let me ask this: is it Kevin Stocker?
No.
Okay.
Ew.
I don't remember what number he wore, but he was an All Star one year, wasn't he?
I believe so, but not by choice. Yeah, it was. He wore number 19.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. What is the career like? Is this person still playing? What's the career?
Well, they're not still playing because part of this game is that it has to be a retired player.
Oh,
So
right.
I never give you
A former player.
a
Gotcha.
yeah, it's always a former player. So their career spanned literally 6 years.
You said how many? Six?
Six.
All with the Phillies.
All so yes and no. Technically, he had so no 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 no. And the reason listen.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead. You said, yes and no.
He had so at the when he was done with the Phillies, he was invited to spring. He had the training invites that they usually give minor league contracts to with the Blue Jays, but he never made the squad, and then he retired after that. So technically, he was also a member of the Blue Jays, but only for spring training, so it doesn't count. That's why, because he doesn't have a jersey number for the Blue Jays.
What was like? When did he play? What were the years of this person's career?
He played between 2010 and 2015.
Damn. What position did he play? What would
Outfield.
yep. Outfield? Outfielder that spent their entire career with the Phillies, and when he was done, got invited to Toronto, didn't make the big league club, or didn't make the team. Outfield. Spent 6 years in the league with the Phillies and made the All Star team. Wow. Wow. Damn, I can't. You said 2010 to 2015?
Yep.
And they were no, they weren't trash. They wasn't trash. They were trash in 2014 and 15, right? Or 20
Probably 13, 14, 15. Yeah.
okay, who were outfielders then? So you had Hunter Pence was in there somewhere. He didn't spend his whole career with the Phillies. You had Jason Worth in there somewhere. He was not him. You had Raul Ibanez in there. Some no, you didn't. You had uh, damn, I can't. I don't know why. I don't know why those years for the Phillies for me are so hazy. I don't know why.
Because they were the non-play. Well, other than 10 and 11 and 12, I guess they were non-playoff years.
And he made an All Star team. Did he get voted to the All Star game, or did he just go to the All Star game because somebody has to go?
He got voted.
What kind of hitter was he?
He was a contact hitter. Because when you look at his stats, he didn't strike out a lot, but he had one good month, and that's what got him into the All Star game.
I got it. I got it.
I shouldn't have given you that clue, but
I got I got it before you said one good month. I got it. But that solidified it for me.
okay.
That's for Don Brown.
Dominic Brown.
Forgot about Don Brown.
So Don Brown actually has a baseball organization, a travel team.
Hmm.
I think my organization actually played his team once or twice. I think we beat him once and lost to him once.
Yeah, when we were coaching with the whatever it was,
Yes.
um, I talked to him a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw him. I'm like, that's Don. I think that's Don Brown. Yeah, I kept go walking back and forth like that's Don Brown, ain't it right? Ain't that Don Brown? Um, Speaking of former organizations, did you see? And I don't. It looked real to me. I don't think it was fake. An organization that we both coached with had a 16-year-old, and I should.
Yes.
Did you see that?
103 miles an hour.
I saw 101. I didn't see.
101. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 101. You're right.
It's like, damn, and there's more. Yes, 116 years old, 101 miles an hour.
Mhm.
Wow. I want to know what school he goes to so I can make sure he is not on our schedule. I do not want to see him.
I want to see where he's at in 3 years.
I said the same thing to somebody else.
And I only say that because the feedback that we as coaches are getting, and the things that I'm reading in like magazine articles, and especially about college baseball, is that the coaches at the D1, D2 level are tired of the power arms because they can't pitch. They just simply can't pitch. They want to go back and find actual pitchers that can get out of jams, pitchers that can, induce the ground ball double play, stuff like that. But all these power pitchers, they're blowing their arms out. They're tired. You know what I mean? They're not. They don't know how to, formulate a good pitch sequence. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, a lot of these coaches now want the pitchers to be able to at least hit 90 for them to come to the program. Excuse me. Um,
and then they want to see if you actually have command, because
right.
even the videos that I saw of said pitcher, I didn't see a strike. I'm sorry. They were. I mean, it was impressive.
I only saw the one video, and that one looked a little off the strike zone, but it looked swing inducing. Like it came
Okay,
across. You know
all
what I
right.
mean? It didn't stay outside. Um, but yeah, it's pretty. I mean, that's impressive for a 16-year-old.
It is
Scary because I hope he doesn't tear anything up. Now I hope he's able to stay healthy.
right.
I'm just scared to see a kid throw that hard that early, and I'm wondering what else he might throw because all that
hmm
power.
but I've seen kids throw in the 90s that early, and I haven't heard anything about them. There was one kid based out in Jersey. His name was Nazir Mule.
Mhm.
Got drafted by the Cubs, and he already has Tommy John. Already blew his arm out.
You know what's crazy? Like I was following him on social and all like that for I guess since he was a sophomore,
Mhm.
maybe freshman. Because I thought he was coming out of high school the one year, and then he ended up coming out like a year later. Anyway, I was surprised that he was drafted to pitch. I was surprised he was drafted as a pitcher.
Well, I mean, he
Not
had
because
great.
I didn't think he could pitch. I just thought he was very good in the field at other positions, and
He was
and
a
the bat was good too.
and I think he was a shortstop and an outfielder in high school, right?
Yeah. So I was surprised that he got drafted to be a pitcher.
I mean, I guess the good thing is if it doesn't work out with his arm, then he can go back to the field. So that's the
Hopefully, hopefully he can.
yeah.
For his sake, hopefully he can.
Yep.
Um, all right. Well, look, I guess we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's about that time. We done taken up enough of y'all's time. Any last words, Miguel, before we get out of here?
Well done, sir. Well done. You've been waiting a long time to use that, haven't you?
Yeah. I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. I can't
Uh,
hear it. That one I can't hear for some reason.
dude, it's loud as hell. It
Yeah.
was a loud ass cricket. It's the end of the week, so I'm all out of words. I used all my important words on Wednesday, so
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, but look, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Enjoy for those that have the opportunity to enjoy your 3-day weekend or more. I hope everybody enjoys that time. And there is for the people in my area, there is an event at Penwood High School, a Martin Luther King Day of Service event, where volunteers are going to the high school to um, create hygiene packs for those in need. So if you have any items, travel size items that you would like to donate or anything like that, you can't do it this weekend, but you can do it on Monday. And if you go over there between 9 and 12 on Monday morning, you can go ahead and donate and volunteer if you would like. All right. But with all that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with myself and, of course, my man Miguel down in
Baltimore, having big fun.
We're going to talk to y'all next week when there's a whole lot more to talk about. All right. We love y'all for loving us. Peace.
Until we meet again.